It all started with an idea. This guy, playing Oblivion for the first time. He was loving every second of it, but after Martin sacrificed himself and becoming the champion of Cyrodiil, the Archmage, Master of the Fighters Guild, Grand Champion of the Arena, the Divine Crusader, Listener of the Dark Brotherhood, Grey Fox of the Thieves Guild, and the Mad God of the Court of Madness, he grew tired. Tired of fighting, and thought, what if I could do it all again? With a new face, and the skills of a pacifist, running past everyone and everything that wished him harm, he ventured out into Cyrodiil once again, as a pacifist.
He has the key. Oh, he's asleep.
They've taken it. The amulet of kings is gone.
Fucking Boris cunt sucks. Fucking dick.
I am crashing the fuck out.
Part 1. Deliver the amulet. Which I got while we're in the sewers, as I just helplessly watched as the Emperor was murdered in front of me. I made my way to Wayne and Priory and spoke to Joffrey. I told him that I brought the amulet, and he didn't really believe me until I just whipped it out of my pocket and was like, yeah, what's this then? He then told me that the Emperor had another secret child, and I needed to go find him. He told me his name was Martin, and he serves Akatosh in the Chapel of Kvatch, so that's where I headed. Part 2. Find the heir. Once I got to Kvatch, I had this guy screaming in my face that I needed to run away because there was a massive gate to Oblivion just in front of the gate. But you know me, I ain't no bitch. So I made my way up and spoke to Sullivan. Part 3. Breaking the Siege of Kvatch. I guess? Because we're still in Part 2, Find the Heir, but I guess this is kind of overlapping that mission, so I don't know. Is this Part 3? Part 2.5? I don't know. Sullivan basically had given up hope and just wanted to hold the ground that they were on, and I was like, nah bruh, send me in. I got this. So I made my way into the Oblivion Gate. There I met this guy. He said that the captain was taken to the tower, so that's where I was heading. I made my way inside and found the captain in this cage. I spoke to him and he said there's no time and that I just needed to get the key off the Daedra. That's a bit of an issue though, because this Daedra is already aggroed on me and I can't kill him. So, since I have a massive brain and I totally expected this to happen, I ran away, made my way out of the door, ran across the bridge and back inside to the main tower. While there, I ran around for a little bit, because honestly, I had no fucking idea what to do. I was just hoping this guy would de-aggro from me. I made my way back across the bridge, and snuck up the stairs, and pickpocketed the key off of him. I honestly really wasn't expecting that to work, but for some reason, everyone was pretty chill with me. I went inside, I used the key, and continued making my way up. Until I found this sigil stone, which I grabbed and, I guess, blew up the entire fucking building. I spoke to Sullivan again, and he basically just glazed me, saying he knew I could do it. Brother, he was telling me I was gonna die when I was about to go in. He said that he wanted to keep pushing forward and asked me to come along, and obviously, I have to get to Martin, so I said yes. We made our way in, and I honestly just watched as they killed everyone. Not much I can really do other than that as a pacifist. But once everyone was dead, I made my way into the chapel, and I spoke to Martin. I told him he was the son of the Emperor, and I needed him to come with me. He didn't really believe me, but also kind of understood and did believe me, so he agreed to come along with me. But before we headed back, I used my brain and thought this would be a perfect time to use Martin's abilities. Sullivan told me he needed to make it to the castle gate, and now I have a personal bodyguard as Martin. He's an essential NPC, so he can't die, so as long as I just keep running away, he's gonna keep getting back up and killing things. So we all made our way out, and made our way to the gate, but it was locked. He told me to go talk to someone and get a key, make my way around, and open the gate for them from the inside. I made my way back inside the chapel. I had this Imperial Legion soldier talk to me. He said he saw smoke from the road and decided to come and help. Aura farming to the fucking max, honestly. These guys are the real MVPs of this entire story. No Hero of Kvatch, no Martin Septim. These 3 Imperial Legion soldiers They are the real heroes, and I don't want to hear anyone say differently. I spoke to this guy, and he told me he does have a key, but he said he'd come with us. We fought our way through hordes of Daedra until we finally got behind the castle gate, where we opened it for the rest of the men to come inside. What the fuck are you doing?
Greetings, traveler. What do you seek?
Why are you here? I made my way inside with Martin following, just so he could deal damage to everything that was trying to kill me. I just ran past everything in this building and got to the Count. I grabbed the ring off his body and made my way back to Sullivan and gave it to him. He said he'd keep the ring until he found a new successor. Part 4, Wayne and Priory. I made my way back to Wayne and Priory and got told that there's people killing everyone. I asked what happened and he said he doesn't know, but he thinks someone's right behind him. Like, yeah. You don't say. I can see that, buddy. I watched as Martin just started laying people down, and I made my way into the chapel to help Joffrey. I stood there blocking while they honestly just took care of everybody. Joffrey let me know that he thinks the Amulet of Kings was the target of their attack and that we needed to go check on it. So we made our way inside and lo and behold, they'd taken the amulet because of course they had. He was upset, but I let him know that I found Martin and he's actually a kind of cool guy. He said that Martin couldn't stay here, so we headed up to Cloud Ruler Temple. They welcomed Martin in with open arms, and he gave a speech while I did some parkour on this roof. Don't worry, I got karma for not listening. He gave his speech, and this time I didn't climb on the roof. After his speech, he came over and he thanked me. Not that he really needs to, like, he's my boy. If only he knew how tight we were in my past life. With Martin now safely at Cloud Ruler Temple, Joffrey asked me to join the Blades. Obviously I said yes, like, are you crazy? Of course I'm gonna be a Blade. He told me I should go to the Imperial City and speak to Boris, saying he may have learned something about the assassins.
Part 5, The Path of Dawn.
I went into this bar, and there he sat. I decided to have a seat next to him, and he let me know that he's gonna get up and walk out in a minute, and I have to follow the guy that's gonna follow him. I told him I'm ready, and he got up. This guy in the corner ended up following him, so I got up and followed them into the basement. I watched as Boris killed him because, again, I can't kill anyone. Boris ended up telling me that the assassins that killed the Emperor are a part of a cult called the Mythic Dawn. They worship a Daedra lord, Maroon's Dagon. He told me to go to Tarmina at the Arcane University and give her the Mythic Dawn Commentaries 1 for her to decipher. So I headed to the Arcane University and gave Tarmina the book. She let me know that there are 4 books and I should head to the Market District and talk to this guy because he might have it. After persuading him a little bit, he ended up selling me the book for 100 gold. The original buyer ended up showing up, and after talking to him, he let me know that he had a meeting set up with a sponsor for the 4th and final book. I let Boris know all of this information, and then we made our way down to the sewers. And this is kind of where we hit our first roadblock in the playthrough. Before this, it had been smooth sailing, but now we had an issue. So Boris lets us know that he wants to meet with the sponsor, and we'll be on lookout. That's all good. The first time we ended up getting spotted by these 2 Mythic Dawn members, and Boris ended up dying, because he's not very strong. Boris without his Blade's armor, it's kind of like the hydrogen bomb versus baby death battle. And Boris is the baby. So the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, I don't know how many times I did it, I tried seeing if I could sneak up behind him and pickpocket him. But every time I got caught, and every time Boris was killed. So I ended up loading back a save and telling Boris that I would meet with the sponsor, hoping that would kind of change something. It didn't. I met with the sponsor probably 3 times, and all 3 times it ended the same with Boris laying on the ground dead. So after some researching, I ended up making my way to Bruma and speaking to this lady, so I could buy a Heal Others spell. There's Convalescence sense? I don't know how to say that. And greater convalescence? Something like that. For some reason, I wasn't satisfied with the 15 points of restore health, and I needed the 20 points of health for 2 seconds. I don't know why, don't ask me. But I didn't have enough money. They were selling it for around 600 gold. So I ended up joining the Thieves Guild for a bit of extra money. But after doing a few missions for them, I kind of realized I was spending more money than I was making just by bribing people. So I stopped doing missions, and it still worked out because I just used my fence to sell a bunch of stolen goods that I would steal.
I would just go house to house, stealing everything that they had, and I would sell it all to the fence until I made enough money. And even after buying it, my skill was too low, so I spent a good amount of time just standing here, spamming restoration spells, leveling it up. I eventually got sick of that and bought the original spell, and made my way back into the sewers. This time, I told Boris I would meet with the sponsor, and when I went in, I let it play out, and I just followed Boris around, spam healing him, just so he wouldn't die. It was stressful. But eventually, he killed the guy, and I got the book. I went back to Tarmina and gave her all the books, and after waiting 2 days, she had deciphered it. And she told me to head to the gardens around the Imperial Palace. I made my way there and touched this stone thing, which gave me the location for where the meeting place was. Part 6. Deeon Shrine. I made my way there and went inside. When I was inside, I knew that this guy would take all of my stuff, and since I can't just kill him to get it back, I decided to see if dropping all my stuff before talking to him would mean I would be able to pick it up after our conversation. And it worked. I had all of my stuff, and he was none the wiser. I made my way down and grabbed the Mysterium Xarxus book. Everyone was really not happy with that choice, so I sprinted away. I got out of the cave and went back to Martin, giving him the book, and he was not happy that I had it. He said in the meantime I should talk to Joffrey. Part 7. Spies. He told me that spies were wandering around and I needed to eliminate them. So I made my way down to their meeting spot, and when I got them aggroed on me, I just walked them over to the main gate. I went inside and one followed me and was instantly killed by a guard. The other one had different ideas. They just wanted to kill my horse. So I just got on and rode around to the other gate, which had a guard out the front. And then this guard took her out as well. After giving Bird all the information, he gave me permission to go into their house and do some further investigation. I went inside their house and down into the basement and found their orders. I went back to Joffrey and gave him the orders that I found. Then he let me know that Martin had made some progress with the Mysterium Xarxus and that I needed to go talk to him. Part 8. Blood of the Daedra. In there, he told me that we needed 4 items. The first one being a Daedric artifact. So, there are 15 Daedric quests you can do in Oblivion, but if you can't kill anyone, that number gets cut down to 8. That being Malakath, Molag Bal, Namira, Nocturnal, Priy, Sanguine, Sheogorath, and Azora. That being said, Sheogorath and Azora both have the lowest level caps, being level 2. I have to be level 2. After doing some research, I couldn't really figure out a way to get past this kind of predicament, I guess you would say. Every website I went on would just tell me to use console commands to spawn it in my inventory, but I didn't want to do that. So with all of that being said, I had to go level up to level 2. I went to Sheogorath's shrine and gave him the offerings, and he told me to head to this town. While there, I stole some cheese and cooked it, so some rats would show up, grabbed the rat poison off the ground and fed it to the sheep, killing them, and then dogs started falling from the sky. It's some prophecy that he wanted to come true so everyone would go crazy. I don't know, ask him, man. With that being done, he gave me the Wabberjack, and that's the Daedric artifact we ended up giving to Martin. Martin then told us to talk to Joffrey. We did, and he let us know that there was an Oblivion gate down in front of Broom. We made our way down, and Bird was already there. Bird wanted to come along with some of his men so they can learn how to close these Oblivion gates without the need of me helping them. So we made our way in, and I showed them how to grab the sigil stone and blow this place up. Back at Martin, he told me he figured out what we needed next. Part 9. Blood of the Divines. This time, we needed the blood of a divine. Joffrey said that we needed to get the armor of Tiber Septim from Sanctuary Tor, and he gave me the key to head there. Now this is our second roadblock. In Sanctuary Tor, there are 4 old blade members that you have to kill. There's no way around it, you have to kill the skeletons, so you can release their souls so that they can open a door for you. They have to die, simple as that. Inside, there are also ghosts. So, I just tried to open the gates without being seen by the ghosts, but I just couldn't do it. They kept aggroing onto me, it was annoying. So, I decided to try a different approach. Why don't I bring a follower with me? Now, we need to make sure of a few things. A. Follower kills do not count as my kills, which I tested on another save, and they don't. B. Since the only way to damage ghosts is with magic, silver weapons, or Daedric weapons, our follower would need to have to use at least one of those things. And finally, C. I don't have to kill anyone or anything to get them as my follower. Looking through a list of all followers, I rounded it down to 2. So, For our first pick, it was Earthor, a temporary follower in the Mages Guild questline. Here are his pros. 1. He uses magic. 2. I can get him extremely early in the questline because he is a recommendation quest for Skingrad. And that's all his pros, so now we move to cons. 1. He's hidden behind a cave full of zombies, which doesn't sound horrible. I can run past them, and where you find them, there's a fake wall which takes you to the exit. So, how's this a con, you're asking yourself? Well, according to the Elder Scrolls wiki, our good friend Earthor refuses to follow you unless every zombie in the cave has been killed. So that crosses him off the list. Our second pick was 4 Everscamps. You can get them through doing a quest called Whom Gods Annoy in Leyawiin. By asking people for rumors, and they tell you that this lady's house stinks. You go there, she gives you a staff to return somewhere, and boom, you have 4 Everscamps as followers. So here are the pros. 1. They use magic. 2. I don't need to kill anyone to acquire them as followers. And 3. They're immortal. Now that we have the pros list, this is the cons list. They don't fucking attack. So yeah, they're off the list. Giving up on the idea of using a follower, I went back to Sacred Tor and just quick saved and quick loaded until I could open the gate without being seen. You're probably wondering, why does it matter if the ghosts aggro onto you? Well, after doing a little bit of research, it turns out there's only a certain amount of people that can follow you through doors. So, let's say we have 10 ghosts following us and a Blades member following us. Well, once we go through that door, only the 10 ghosts are going to follow us through that door. And the Blades member that we have to kill is now stuck. So, we have to make it through without being seen. Now you're probably wondering, why does it matter if the Blades member can't travel through doors with you? Well, this comes into how we're going to kill the Blades members. So, we can't directly kill them. We've just gone over that we can't bring a follower in to kill them, so this is how we're going to kill them. So, at the beginning of the tomb, there's a dart trap. It doesn't really serve much purpose, but we can use this to our advantage. I found the first Blades member, and I made him aggro onto me. I then went invisible and ran past all the ghosts, and when my invisibility wore off, the Blades member kept following me. I then hid around this corner, right next to the dart trap, and let the skeleton just run through it and through it and through it until he died. That is 1 out of 4 Blades members dead, and he was the easiest one. I now had to do this 3 more times though. Second one down. That's the third one. Okay. Oh my god. Now I just need to get there without being fucking seen by anything. With all 4 of the Blades members dead, they went to the Shrine of Tiber Septim to try and get rid of some enchantment that the Underking put there. Hence why we needed to kill them. I went there and they got rid of the enchantment, and I made my way in and grabbed the armor of Tiber Septim. Then I went back to Cloudruler Temple and gave it to Martin. Then he let me know for the 3rd item we needed was a Great Welkin Stone. But if rumors are to be believed, there's one still left at Miskarand. Miskarkand? It's definitely that one. So, that's where I headed. Part 10. Miskarkand. That one. The whole time I was here, I was trying to play it sneaky. I was invisible like the entire time until I got to the end and just decided, why don't I just grab this thing and run away? So that's what I did. And then I went back and gave it to Martin. Part 11. Broomagate. He then said we only needed one more thing. That being a Great Sigil Stone. And he let me know that we were going to let them open a great gate in front of Bruma. I'm all for it. He was acting like I was gonna try and talk him out of it. Like, nah brother, you got this. I'm just here. He then asked if I could tell the Countess to meet him in the Shrine of Talos. Part 12. Allies for Bruma. Then after this, I won't bore you, but I ended up doing the Allies for Bruma quest. And it's a lot of the same thing. It's literally just go into an Oblivion Gate and get a Sigil Stone, talk to the Count or the Countess. I did that everywhere. I'm not going to bore you with the details. Part 13. Defense of Bruma. I then met with the Countess and let her know that we needed a Great Sigil Stone. And she actually came around fairly quickly. And then we both headed to the shrine to meet with Martin. They spoke about the plan for a little bit. She basically just glazed him a little bit. And then she said she was ready for battle. I headed out the Broomer Gate and headed to the Oblivion Gate. While there, Martin gave his speech.
Soldiers of Cyrodiil, the Empire will stand or fall by what we do here today. Will we let the Daedra do to Broomer what they did to Kavach? Will we let them burn our homes? Will we let them kill our families? No! We make our stand here, today, for the whole of Cyrodiil. We must hold fast until the hero of Kavach can destroy their great gate. We must kill whatever comes out of that gate. Soldiers of Cyrodiil, do you stand with me? Here comes another one.
Part 14. Great Gate. They fought everything that were coming out of the gates until the massive gate appeared. And when it did, it was my job to enter and grab the Great Sigil Stone. Obviously, I just ran past everything and grabbed it. And in doing so, we won the Battle of Broomer. I gave the stone to Martin, and he let me know that he'd be at the Cloud Ruler Temple for whenever I'm ready to go to Paradise. I went up to Cloud Ruler Temple and let Martin know that I was ready to enter Paradise. He told me that Mankar Cameron acts as an anchor, just like the Sigil Stones do for the Oblivion Gates, and that if I wanted to leave, I had to kill Cameron. But I prepared for this, so I made my way into Paradise and went on my way. Part 15. Paradise. While in there, I just used my invisibility spell to run past everything until I ran into Cathulet? I don't know what I'm emphasizing. He said that if I seek a way out of the garden, that I need to get past him. And he gives me a choice. I can either kill him, or I can serve him. And since I'm a pacifist, I chose the latter. In serving him, he tells me I have to go free someone. And by doing that, he'd give me the key to the Forbidden Grotto, the Band of the Chosen, which will let me get to Mankar Cameron. So I just made my way down to a nearby cave, and after I pushed these 2 logs out of the way, the mission was done. So I spoke to Cathulet again, and he gave me the Bands of the Chosen. While in there, I met Eldermill. I told him I was here to kill Mankar Cameron, and he said he wanted to help. And hey, anyone that can do damage that isn't me, I will gladly take. So I let him know that he can come with me. He told me to just act like a prisoner, but he'll get me out of here. So that's what I did. And then he told me we'd meet further into the caves. When I met up with him again, he took off the Bands of the Chosen for me. So I then just decided that I'm gonna sprint through the caves and get outside, and Eldermill followed. But so did this Daedra, who literally just like 3-shot him and I couldn't heal him fast enough. So I decided this time I'll do it while invisible. I ran through and got outside, but Eldermill never followed. So I guess he died to like the first thing he fought. But I didn't really feel like going back in the save, so I just kept going. I met with Rumor Cameron, and she was like, "Oh, didn't expect you to see me again, did you?" Shut the fuck up, bitch. And then she said that her father was waiting for me, so I headed in. Now, we're at our 3rd and final roadblock, and you're probably wondering what I have prepared for this. Well, in between just about every single mission I did when ingredients respawned, I was leveling up my alchemy until I got it to level 100. In doing that, I could make a busted poison. Now, you're probably wondering, but Sam, if you can't kill anyone, you can't use poison. That's killing someone. Well, dear viewer, you're wrong. So, according to the game, if someone dies to poison, it doesn't matter how it was given to them. If they die to the poison, it does not count as my kill. Let's say they have 100 points of health, and I hit them for 99 points of their health, and that last 1 health is damaged by poison. It will count as the poison killing them, and that I had nothing to do with it. So, I made a poison called Mankar's Death, which damages health for 4 points for 16 seconds, and damages Magicka for 8 points for 33 seconds. And I made 4 of them. Now, it might not seem like much, but in this game, poison stacks. So, if I poison a dagger and hit him once, it'll start doing this damage. But if then I poison the dagger again and hit him again, it's going to double what's going on. So basically, imagine all of this, but times 4. So I walked up to him, and he started revealing his evil plan, and blah 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 blah. I really do not care. You can see for a second I tried to see if I could just pickpocket the Amulet of Kings off him, but of course it's not that easy. Then I showed before the fight starts that I've got 0 assaults, 0 murders, no people killed, and no creatures killed, just so you guys know that I've been serious this entire time. I then used the demobilize spell to make him sit still, and then I hit him with the knife. Then I poisoned it, hit him again, poisoned it, hit him again, poisoned it, hit him again, and you can see his health just draining. He healed, but it did not matter. And then...
Die, unbeliever! This is the part where...
Eldermill! Eldermill came in clutch! Eldermill! Dude, Eldermill came in clutch! I thought he was dead! Dude, he's him! Okay, let's check. We got 0-0. We got 0-0. We have officially nearly finished the game without killing anything. Dude, that guy just showed up and was like, yeah, hold this fucking lightning, buddy. Holy shit. I thought he was dead. You're the real hero of this. Oh my god, that was fucking insane. Where did he even fucking come from? He just showed up. He just pulled up and went, nah! So, after I grabbed the Amulet of Kings and was released from paradise, I had all the blades bowing down to me. I then spoke to Martin and gave him the Amulet of Kings. And doesn't he look dashing? He then said that now that he has the amulet, he has to go light the dragon fires. Because until then, Maroon's Dagon's invasion will continue. He said he sent a message to Chancellor Okado, and that we have to head to the Imperial City. Part 16. Light the dragon fires. The Chancellor told him that he is now Emperor, but then we were rudely interrupted by a bunch of Daedra attacking. And the only way to stop the Daedra invasion is to light the dragon fires. So, we had to make our way to the Temple of the One. I ran past the Daedra and let the guards deal with that, and I ran through the burning Imperial City. And I even saw Maroon's Dagon in the street. Martin had lost hope now that Maroon's Dagon was already here, until he had an idea. We entered the Temple of the One, and he told me that he cannot stay, and that others will have to rebuild Tamriel. He said farewell, and that I've been a good friend, and he said that the dragon waits. That it does. The amulet was shattered, and Dagon was defeated. With the dragon blood and the Amulet of Kings, the gates of Oblivion were shut forever. And that was all because of Martin's sacrifice. One of my favorite Elder Scrolls characters, I'm gonna be for real. These are the final stats. I've got 0 assaults, 0 murders, no creatures killed, and no people killed. Chancellor Okado showed up and asked where Martin was, and I let him know that he was dead. Or just gone, in general. I don't know if he actually died. With all that being said and done, as the Lord High Chancellor of the Elder Council, he named me Champion of Cyrodiil. So with all of that, the challenge is done. I beat the entirety of the Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered without killing a single person, without killing an animal, without assaulting anyone, nothing. This was a really fun challenge. Let me know how you guys enjoyed the video down in the comments below. Let me know if there's any other challenge runs you want me to do. And as always guys, peace.